Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. This is a team for the last couple of years. They've struggled a lot and they struggled immensely. But you look at the pieces that they have on this team, they're set for the future. And bringing in Monty Williams and making him the highest paid coach in the NBA is going to help out with that. Monty Williams was a culture difference maker for the Phoenix Suns. If you remember how the Phoenix Suns were before Monty Williams got there, they were very bad. They were in a similar position that the Detroit Pistons are in. But the Detroit Pistons have a lot of good young players. I like what they have in Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham missed majority of last season dealing with a calf injury. Only played 12 games, but in those 12 games, he averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and shot 42% from the field. I like Cade Cunningham. He was the first overall pick a couple years ago for a reason. He's a very crafty playmaker, can create his own shot, and he has potential to be one of the best point guards in all the NBA. And I do believe that Cade Cunningham will be a difference maker for this team long term. He just has to stay healthy. We saw his rookie season how good he was, and this was supposed to be the season that him and Jaden Ivey get the first season underneath their belts, and they're going to have that 1-2 dynamic punch at the guard position. I love Jaden Ivey's game. Reminds me a lot of Dwayne Wade. Not calling him Dwayne Wade, but he's explosive in the open court. And this team definitely lost their identity when Cade Cunningham went down. And Jaden Ivey had to be the consistent playmaker for this team. Jaden Ivey last season averaged 16 points, 4 rebounds a game, 5 assists, shot 42% from the field, and a 3-point shot will get better over time with this kid. I do think that you have 2 franchise pieces with these players in Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. And just like Jaden Ivey, you selected Jalen Duren in the first round last year. Jalen Duren averaged 9 points, 9 rebounds, gave you some good minutes. He will continue to get better as well. What is very interesting with this Pistons team, that you have a lot of big men on this roster, from Marvin Bagley to James Wiseman to Jalen Duren. You got James Wiseman in a trade with the Golden State Warriors. I believe that he has the highest upside out of any big in that room. And James Wiseman did have some good moments with the Detroit Pistons from last year. And I do believe there is something with him. If you can pair him up with a healthy Cade Cunningham, the pick and roll should be very good. And James Wiseman has shown that he can create his own shot at times. He was not in the best ideal situation with the Golden State Warriors. I know that's crazy to say, but when you're playing with those veterans, those guys are ready to win now. They don't have time for you to develop. But you come over to the Detroit Pistons, a team that's not ready to win playoff games, not even make a playoff push just yet. They're here to develop these young players and see what they have in them. So taking a swing on a guy like a James Wiseman could work out in the long run with this team. He's a guy that could get the jump shot better and could be a very solid rim protector in the future as well, and could just be a consistent big. And you could pair him up with Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham long term. Hopefully Monty Williams can develop all these guys, and I believe that he will do that. He did it with the Phoenix Suns, and I believe that he'll have the same type of impact with this Pistons team. But the biggest thing last year was that Bojan Bogdanovic led this team in points, and he's a very good shooter. He is older at the age of 34 years old, but he's still a good player to have in this team. There were talks about trading him last season to just blow the entire thing up and just try to continue to rebuild. But having a veteran on the team like this is going to help these young guys out. You may be able to trade him in the future, but last season he was very solid for this team. 21 points a game. He averaged 48% from the field. He's a very good 3-point shooter as well, and he's just a good veteran player to have on this team. You drafted a Stuart Thompson as well at the 4 position. Crafty playmaker, very good on the defensive end. I believe that the shot will get better over time from 3, but he's a guy that's going to come in. You could do a lot of things with him in the defensive room. He can guard point guards, shooting guards, and small forwards as well. He's very versatile, and you can also give him the ball to create his own shot. So he will not stand in the way of Cade Cunningham or Jaden Ivey, and he does a great job when he's moving off the ball, so he doesn't have to have the ball in his hand on the offensive end to make a difference. But the Pistons have a lot of very good pieces. I do think that it's going to be very interesting to see how they play these big men, because you can only play so many bigs at once before these guys just start to take up space in today's NBA. But I do think that they'll have a good chance to be one of those teams that are set for the future with the pieces that they have. It's going to be hard for this team to go out and get free agents, for the simple fact that it is Detroit, and traditionally for the last couple of years you don't really get those big type of targets in free agency. But they're they're doing the right thing right now. Develop through the draft and get guys through trades as well, because they also got Joe Harris. I like Joe Harris's game coming from the Brooklyn Nets. He isn't a guy that's going to make a huge impact on the defensive end. He's not known for his defense. He's known for those pull-up threes and a guy that can come off those screens and pop threes and contested situations and hit those tough shots. And I do understand in the playoffs, the three-point shot does go away, but I don't see this Detroit Pistons team making the playoffs just yet. They could be a play-in type of team, but it depends on the development of Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about this Detroit Pistons team? Will this team be set with the future with Monty Williams? And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.